at noon, where we do a little bit of networking at noon. And I'm super excited today to be joined by Terry Brock. I've actually known Terry for several years through the National Speakers Association. And he's done, I'd say a little bit more, but quite a bit more inside the National Speakers Association than I have. He is he's in the Speakers Hall of Fame. He's also a Cavett Award recipient. And there's only a handful of speakers throughout the nation that have gotten that. And so he's, a master level when it comes to speaking, but it's not just about the speaking. He's also all about the technology. And so I'm super excited to have him here with us today to talk a little bit about technology. He's a technology trends expert. And I think technology has taken some leaps and bounds over the past, what are we in now, November? So would that make it about the past 20 months? The world has forced some technology changes to come to us. So Terry, welcome. Glad to have you with us.
It is great to be here and an honor to be with you, Tiffany.
So talk to us about technology.
It's good. Yeah, although it can be confusing at times. The thing is, technology can be your buddy when you embrace it. And I think what we've got to do is use technology to help people. That's the key. The geek in me says, oh, yeah, I want to get into all the geeky stuff and all that. And, I guess there's a place for that, but what really matters is, how does technology help us to connect with people more? One of the things we want to do more than anything is to humanize the virtual connection. And that's something that you do beautifully. And it's just really great to be with you here today.
All right. So I love the idea of using technology. Like, some people think of technology as it's replacing the human component. It's going away from us. So tell me, what are some ways we can use technology to really deepen and strengthen our relationships?
Well, I think what we've got to do is look at technology as something that we've used and our ancestors have used for centuries. When you think about it, a plow that tills the soil so they can plant seeds and grow, that's a technology. It is a technology that was invented many, many eons ago. But what it does is it makes life better for human beings. And so what we want to do is use tools like right now we're using Restream, which is a fabulous tool for connecting with many different people in many different places, all at the same time. Or as I like to say, because I'm a big fan of Restream, not only can you be there at the same time, but also simultaneously. And you get both. But it gives you the ability to connect with people and to give them what they need. And so that, like right now, you're over on the other side of the state. I'm here in Orlando and you're over in the Tampa area. It's like, but it's almost as if we were in the same room, because the audio, the video is good with our technology today. And we can put it together and use this wonderful tool called Restream to just make the magic happen.
So you mentioned with Restream, and Restream's not the only service. It's the one that I've picked and I love to use. There's other ones like it, but you mentioned like simultaneously, and can you tell us a little bit about how that works? Because I know sometimes I'm like, nowadays people are pretty used to Zoom. Like, I can get on Zoom and I could live stream to Facebook via Zoom. But what's the difference of like using a Zoom and using something like Restream or StreamYard?
Yeah, I use Zoom all the time. It's a great tool. We use it for many, many different things. And you can go from Zoom and send it over to, say, a Facebook group. That's good. That's good. With Restream, you could send it to Facebook groups, plural, to a page, and you could send it over to other sources too, like LinkedIn. You could send it over to Twitter. You can send it over to up to 30 different destinations. And that's real important for connecting with people more, particularly for entrepreneurs who are marketing and want to reach people, rather than saying, hey, you've got to come over here to my Facebook group. Well, that's nice if people are on Facebook, but there are people that say, hey, I don't want to use Facebook, or I don't want to go over there. And if they're going, I don't want to do that, well, then you can try to argue with them. Or a better way is to say, well, where would you like to be? And they say, well, I'm on YouTube. Well, isn't that interesting? Because we're using Restream, we can meet you on YouTube as well. Or if you want to come over to LinkedIn, or if you want to go over to Twitter, all at the same time, you can do that with Restream.
It's amazing with the technology and the capabilities and the applications that we have for that. And so as y'all are watching this, for those of you watching us live, whether it's on Facebook or LinkedIn or on YouTube, I don't do Twitter as much, so I don't have it streamed there, but that will probably be added to my to-do list after today. And I totally lost my thought there. Such as happen when we do live, but it's
well, the technology can do that to you. It gets so excited. I just get a Twitter about it. Get it?
Yeah.
Get it? Oh, and then forget that. But let me mention something though. You're saying you're not using Twitter right now. I haven't used it a whole lot, but I use it some. But here's what matters. I've been over on Twitter. I've just sent the signal over there, and people will come back and respond to me and get involved. So you think, okay, even though I'm not using Twitter, hey Terry, there are other kids that are using it. Okay, it's a valid, wonderful source, and if you can go over there and see them, you're in better shape. One of the nice things about Restream is they give you a whole bazillion. I think that's the exact number, a bazillion places that you can say, I want to be here and here. And some of them are more esoteric. Some of them might be a social media place that's only available, for instance, in Russian or in
Mm.
Chinese. But if you can be there, if that would be important to you in your market, you could be over there, and it's all you need is that one person that could then give you a really good piece of business. And you think, hey, it was worth it being there, even if there were only 5 people on that channel, but one of them heard me and followed me regularly and decided to do something positive. Well, that's a good thing.
Well, I think that's a beautiful thing about a service where we can go to up to 30 different platforms. It's not we have to pick, okay, which one is the one that we're doing today. And Zoom, I don't get me wrong, I love Zoom. I use it all the time. I've
Oh
got a
yeah.
Zoom in 90 minutes that we'll be live streaming to my Facebook group. But it's just, it gives us an opportunity to do so much more. And I know that we're spending a lot of time with our technology. So what are some of your other favorite pieces of technology? And while Terry's thinking about, which pieces of technology he might want to mention, if y'all have questions as you're watching this and you want to ask Terry his thoughts on technology, technology with Terry's tips and all of that, put those in the comments below. And then I'm going to turn it over to you, Terry. Tell me about some of your favorite technology.
Oh, gee, and we only have 17 hours left on this. Is that right? Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Because there's a bunch of them out there. I think you can get overwhelmed with them. There's so many good technologies there. And I think what you want to do is use the filters that you say, okay, I'm going to find what's best. I like the way Clay Shirky talks about it when people will talk about information overload. We've got so much out there. What are we going to do? He says, the problem is not information overload. The problem is filter failure. And so, what I would suggest when you're looking at technology, find the right filters. What is it that I'm trying to accomplish? Like, for instance, with me, here's an example. I do a lot with video, as you know. I'm doing video production and I want to use that. My undergrad degree was radio, TV, newspaper, and all that. So, I want to do some cool things, but doing it on a laptop. I use a tool called Ecamm. That's Ecamm. And it gives me the ability to put in nice graphics and sounds and to do what you would do with a very large and very expensive production at a television station. You can do it on your laptop for, I think, $270 a year, which is really, that's for their high-end version. And so what it does is it gives you the ability to help people to communicate better. When everyone's doing something on Zoom going, hello, today we are going to talk to you about and it's just the terrible word that, excuse my language, B word, boring. It's just boring. What you want to do is you go, hey, Sparky, lighten it up a little bit here and put some other graphics in there, some other things that are nice. And so I like Ecamm, which is really good for that. It works on real computers, not on those Windows thingies, but on the real Mac computers. It's got to be a Mac.
Yeah.
But VBiz is another, or VMix is another one that can work with that and does well. And by the way, we have our Amazon over here saying hello to us as well. Anytime I say the word computer, it comes because I'm a Star Trek geek and I love Star Trek. And remember how Captain Kirk and how Captain Picard on the Enterprise would say that one word that I'm not going to say right now, and it would get their attention. So we do that regularly too.
That's on my list of things to do, actually. Well, actually, on my list of my husband's things to do is to reprogram my Alexa. Oops, I probably shouldn't have said that. To the C word, because yeah, I'm totally with you right there.
Yeah, that's good. I like the way you say that. That is the C word, computer.
Yeah, computer, not in a bad way. Did you know that there's a new Star Trek Prodigy that's available like Nickelodeon?
I've heard of that. I haven't seen it, and I might have to look into it because I just love Star Trek. But it's always wanting to watch even the original, and then Captain Picard and Voyager with Captain Janeway.
Janeway's in the new one, I
Oh,
think.
she is.
Yeah, now it's a cartoon. Okay, so I haven't seen it, but yesterday when I turned on my Roku, it was like, I'm like, why is there a Starfleet vehicle? Like, what's going on? And so it's like, apparently there's this new thing coming out from Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus for cartoon Star Trek.
I like that. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that because Kate Mulgrew, who played the part of Captain Janeway, is a great actress. She was one, and I actually have a picture. I don't have it with me right here. It's in the other room of me with her putting her arm around me on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise,
Oh,
because I happened to be at an event as a reporter a few years ago, and she was there with a lot of other of the Star Trek actors. And I thought, how cool is that? How many people have a picture of that with Captain Janeway with her arm around me on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise?
that's
That was
awesome.
cool.
Now, have you read her autobiography? It's the
No,
autobiography of Catherine Janeway.
I have not.
And I think this month they actually are coming. I'm like, they got Kirk and Picard. I haven't read those yet. I started with Janeway because it was free on the library app. So I'm not sure if it was Hoopla or Libby, but the audio version was free on the library app. So if you have a library card, you can get in and get the books. But Spock's autobiography came out. I think it's coming out in November. So I'm super excited about the take. His autobiography. They did an amazing job with Catherine Janeway's.
Oh, that's good. So they're using the actor, the character,
Mm,
the autobiography of the
yeah.
character.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not sure how they'll do that with Spock, with Leonard Nimoy not being here anymore. But Kate Mulgrove actually did the narration for the autobiography.
Oh, okay. Well, they could find somebody that might have a similar sounding voice
Yeah,
for that. We could do that, but I'm sure it will be logical and we will live long and prosper. Yeah, the
definitely.
Trekkies out there are going, yeah, yeah. The others are going, what is that?
They're
I
like
don't
the people
understand.
that aren't Trekkies are like, what did I just walk into? Oh my.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun stuff, because I'm all about like, let's do the business, let's do the fun. What do you like to do for fun in addition to Star Trek? What are some of your fun things in your world?
Oh, gee, lots of things. I guess exercise is fun. I like to do that, and got a little bit of away from it in the pandemic, and I'm getting back into riding my unicycle. So I ride the unicycle around the neighborhood here, and do that. I take it over to my dentist's office when I got a dental appointment, and I'll ride in. Then I'm standing there, and I remember one time I walked in. I said, and I talked to my dentist. I looked at her and I said, "Well, excuse me, doctor, where do your patients normally leave their unicycles?" She goes, "Terry, just get over here and put it over there." Oh, okay. So I like to do that, and Gina, my partner, and I, we get out and run around the world playing. Although we're really enjoying just being here in Orlando, often given all the stuff. I'll use that word, the stuff that's going on with flying right now. It's like, oh, come on, people, get it together. You can do it. So we're just sitting here, but enjoying life enormous. Oh, and I love reading a lot. So I'll read. I was reading this morning with one of my favorite books, The 50th Law, about Curtis Jackson, who was 50 Cent, and Robert Greene wrote that. Really good information on historical knowledge and how that relates to today, where we are. So reading, I think, is another good thing for fun.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. All right. So I know we've talked some about what you do. And if you're just joining us, I'm here today with Terry Brock. You can learn more about Terry at terrybrock.com.
Ooh, I like
Now,
that.
yeah, see, that's one of the things that Restream has. That YouTube, I can show you a slide, and I can show you a slide here, but I don't have any loaded up, so it's good. But speaking of YouTube, because I know we do a lot talk about YouTube in the Video Rockstars. So Terry and his partner Gina run a group called Video Rockstars. You want to tell us a little bit about that? And then I'm going to ask you to tell me about your channel shortly thereafter.
Yeah, Video Rockstars is the program we have where we help people to learn how to use video better. If they're just getting started, it's a great place to come and learn about. If you've been at it for a while and really advanced, it's good because we're always showing something new that is designed to help you, particularly in business as an entrepreneur. And it gives you the ability to hear from various guests that we know. Gina and I know different people from around the world that come in and can talk to us about specific ideas and specific strategies that can really help you in video. But by the way, this can also work in other areas of marketing like podcasting or even blogging. Some of the ideas that we talk about there, even though yes, it is video, gets helps us to do a lot more. And I'm saying, by the way, one of our Facebook users saying video is the best way to promote. People are visual folks. Yeah, video is powerful. It really is good. And so we've been using that a lot. I was the chief enterprise blogger with Skype for a while. They asked me to come on board and show them how to do something. Because at the time, Skype was really grandma and grandpa talking with the grandkids, which is great. I mean, it's wonderful to have that. But I was going, I wonder if there's a way we could use that in business. Yeah, I didn't go to all that business school stuff for nothing. So I said, well, let's see if we can get this and this and this. And I started putting out a lot of videos on that. And the folks gave me a call from Skype and they said, Terry, We've been passing your videos around the world. Nobody's doing what you're doing on that. I said, and they said, we wanted you to come and show us how. And I said, well, for the right amount of money, we can work something out here. So we did that. But I think with video, it really does give you a chance to connect with people. And that's what it's really about, building relationships, being with people and just leveraging the daylights out of this technology.
It's so easy nowadays to do video, to be online, to have that connection in such a way that it's not been before. So it's such a beautiful thing that we have going on. Now, speaking of video, I know that you're active quite a bit lately on your YouTube channel, and you talk about
Agorapreneurs.
Agorapreneurs. Okay, so what is Agorapreneurs, and tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, agorapreneurs is a word that I made up. Yeah, Gina and I were sitting over the kitchen table and we're going, well, what are we going to call it? It's going agorapreneurs. Yeah, because it's about entrepreneurs. We've heard that before. People who start a business and run it. And agora, look it up on Wikipedia. You'll see agorism is the idea, goes back to the ancient Greek of people in open places doing marketing and being with each other peacefully and voluntarily. Everything you do should start with the core philosophy of live and let live. That's kind of the filter that I think we should use for every decision. I'm using the word every very carefully there. Every decision should be live and let live. That means, should we do this? Should we pass a law on such and such? Well, does it help people to do what they want without harming someone else? You have to live your life the way you want, do whatever you want. But hey, the flip side of that is let live. You don't hurt other people. You don't take their stuff. You do not initiate, keyword, do not initiate force or coercion. Yeah, you defend yourself, but you don't initiate it. And so you live peacefully. You don't steal stuff from people. And that means one person taking from another, well, that's immoral. It's wrong. Matter of fact, if 2 or 3 people get together and they're going to try to beat up someone, it's still wrong. And if you get a whole group of people and they say, well, we're going to take your stuff, that's still wrong. It's great for really a whole country. Yeah, I see a comment coming through there. And really, that is the key. It's like, if it's not right for one person to do it, is it right for others to get together and do it and say, well, we're all going to get together and, hey, we'll even do a vote. You know, we're going to vote. Should we take all of Tiffany's stuff? Okay, and there's 5 of us here. Okay, how many say we should? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 of the 5 did. And 1 is Tiffany. She said, no, well, the majority rules. You go, no. You don't initiate force. You don't take stuff from others. You live and let live. And so that's what Agorapreneurs is about. And we look at how you can build your business as someone who embraces that philosophy, someone who says, yeah, we want to live peacefully, joyfully, abundantly, and help make the world a lot better place.
That is amazing. I love the idea. So if we're looking to find you on social media, on YouTube, what is the best way to go about finding you?
Well, Agorapreneurs is a good place to do it over there on YouTube. You bounce over there, you'll get a chance to see it. And of course, I'm over at terrybrock.com, and that's easy to find as well. And for those that might be catching this on audio, Terry and Brock can be spelled different ways. Terry is Terry, and Brock is spelled the right way, BROCK. So terrybrock.com. You come on over and visit. Love to have you there. And come over to Agorapreneurs. And we have room for a few more subscriptions. Yes, indeed. You can click on that and you'll get subscribed, and then you'll feel the tingling in your fingers. Well,
and how much does it cost for that subscription, Terry?
Yeah, well, thank you.
No, I said, how much does it cost for that
Oh,
subscription?
the cost on that is, I've worked out an arrangement with YouTube. It costs nothing.
Oh,
See,
wow.
I'm able to get that for nothing for you, but only for a limited time. And you've got to act now, because am I sounding like a marketer there?
Well, that's what happens. You know, you get to have some fun. And that's one of the things I love about live video. And I think people need to do with video and technology. I think sometimes they think, I'm going to be on video, so it has to be perfect. It has to be polished. It has to be, 100% right all of the time. And I don't know that that's what we have to do. I don't think we're perfect in person. So why would we have to be perfect in video?
Once again, Tiffany, I'm agreeing with you, because I think what we do is we put ourselves down. We go, oh, I can't do this live thing because I might make a mistake or I might fall over. Well, if you fall over, it's okay. That's what live is all about. There's kind of an excitement to it there. There's a place for live. We talked about that the other day, yesterday, on Video Rockstars, about live versus streaming, and then hybrid, and how to do that and what it is. And so when you're doing a production where you're recording, that's good. You can go back and you can change it. You can go, oh, we made a glitch right here at 4 minutes and 32 seconds, and you can correct that. Or as we say, you can fix it in post. The inside thing on video, what we say, you can fix it in post. So we can do that. But when you're live, you don't have that. But that's okay too, because now you get the interaction. And like we see the comments coming through here that I'm seeing over on the right-hand side, that what Tiffanie says is golden. Facebook user is saying it's yes, absolutely. And the other one said, great advice for a whole country. Absolutely. If it applies to a person, it applies to others. No one has the right to come and to steal from you, to hurt you, to hit you, take your stuff. No, that is immoral.
So we are here. We're beginning to wrap up our conversation with Terry Brock at this episode of Networking at Noon, but we do have a couple questions to begin to wrap us up. The first is, what is one tip that you want to give to the people out there, whether it's kind of something that we talked about or something totally different? What's Terry's tip? What's your Terry's takeaway that you want to leave the viewing audience taking from today?
Well, let me see. I probably think the most important thing you can do going forward is find out how you can add value to help others. It's one of the paradoxes of the way our world works. We think about ourselves. We have intrapersonal communication, the thoughts that go on in our head. We eat for ourselves only, unless you're pregnant. You're doing that. You sleep only for yourself. You breathe only for yourself. That's the way we are built as human beings. But you get ahead in life by helping others, by looking at how you can help them. How can you be of service to them? If you want to get more sales, you want to do better, find out how you can serve others better. And that's the beauty of it. And we really are more energized and stronger as people when we can help others and we can make sure that we're helping them. I'd say that'd be the most important thing. Always think in terms of how can you make the lives of others better and make your life better at the same time.
I love the idea of let me help others, and that will help fulfill me. It doesn't have to be let me take care of myself and screw everybody else. We can all help together. And Matt shared, and thanks, Matt, for catching on that if you haven't gone to restream.io/Facebook or something like that, we don't know who you are. So thank you, Matt. He said, great live session. Video definitely makes it more personal. And another Facebook user said, love that statement. So thank y'all so very much. My last question for you. This is a tough one. What's your favorite brew?
My favorite what?
Brew. And so this can be a beverage that's brewed. This can be coffee, tea, kombucha, beer, wine. No, not wine, liquor. Wine doesn't count. Soda doesn't count. I don't think you're a big soda man anyway. But
No.
beer, tea, kombucha, coffee, and liquor are the 5 brewed beverages.
5 brew. Well, what about ocha? Say
Huh?
ocha is what I like a lot. Ocha is green tea, and that's how you say it in Japanese. So my Japanese green tea, ocha. See, you learned a word in Japanese today. How about that?
There you go.
Unless you already knew that word.
That one I did not.
Ocha is one. I like to have my green tea every morning, and then sometimes a coffee. I have a lot of different beverages. It depends on what we want to do. And then I also enjoy my Japanese sake. So the Japanese sake, which is really rice wine. So I guess it wouldn't qualify there, but it's also good. And then it depends. I like to go whatever country I'm in. I want to have their beverage. So if I'm in Russia, I want to have good vodka. Moskovskaya is very good. Очень хорошо, the Russians would say. Very good. And that's good. If you're over in Ireland, of course, the Guinness is good. In Japan, the sake is good. And some Mau Tai down in Hong Kong is good. So it really just depends on where you are.
Gotcha. Well, Terry, it's been a pleasure having you here with us today for our Networking at Noon event. Check them out at cherrybrock.com or on YouTube or on the social media platforms, or join us for the video Rockstars. I know that's a Wednesday afternoon at 4 inside the Facebook group. And then you do a Terry's Tips at 2 on Tuesdays. Am I getting lots of teas there?
We often do a special for a client of mine who's in the dental space. So we have Talking Tech Tips with Terry Tuesday at 2. Get it, the alliteration and all that. So we get it there to have fun and show dentists how to do more technology dentisting, as we like to say. It's for Dr. Paul Goodman. He's a dentist that teaches other dentists, but I do that. And so we bring in some other kids to see about it too, so they can go, hey, I got to tell my dentist about this, and let them see what it is. So we just have all kinds of fun and more unplanned right now. So stay tuned. More goodies coming your way. But Tiffanie, it is wonderful to be with you today. And by the way, those of you who are watching this, get to know this lady. She is wonderful. I've seen her a lot as fellow professional speakers on stage and off stage. She's authentic. She's real. She's brilliant. Knows what she's doing. Get to know her and how she can help you. Tiffanie, thanks for letting me be here today.
Thank you so very much, Terry, and happy networking, y'all.